Yeah, it's Fisker, and the recent swing high is at 1913. But it has to make a rounded bottom or something like that. But above
So what is it?
above 1930 would be it would be a good place to start a buy or a starter position.
Okay. Thanks, KV. I had a big position in Fisker and then I got out now. Okay. So 1913 and above is good to enter. Okay.
Yep. Remind me tomorrow, and I'll post the chart.
Okay. And KP, similar to PayPal, right? Can you also confirm if Square has hit the bottom, like a rounded bottom, and it's what is the safe entry point for that?
Well, 150, 150 has a support. Again, Square doesn't look as good as PayPal. PayPal actually started to turn around a little bit, but Square hasn't spent enough time yet at the lows. So 1122, that's almost a month of sideways move for PayPal, not for Square yet. Square did, what is that? Probably 5-6 days. This might take a little bit more time. Okay, we have Apple. Apple is looking absolutely wonderful. That's all I have to say. I mean, there's not much to comment here. A little bit of consolidation would be better before it breaks out again, or you could probably buy. See, I don't like to buy whenever I see a big candle. I mean, that's one of the reasons I was not very comfortable today. Let's look at the volume. Yeah, it's, even though it's up 2.5%, the volume is down 22%. See, I mean, this could be a legitimate move without the volume. We will only know, if it breaks out that 192. There is no other way to know about it. This could
KP,
go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was.
When will you become a buyer of Apple?
That's a very good question. Well, above 182 would be good to get into this one. I mean, I used to buy Apple and Microsoft for long-term as long-term buys. But because they have become such a big companies, I mean, this is almost a $3 trillion company. For this to move a lot, it moves slowly from now on. I mean, the growth will not be the same anymore. And this is probably mostly as a trade rather than a buy and hold in the long term for me, solely because it cannot move more than 2 or 3% a day, and I want to be in the stocks that can move a little bit faster. But right, technically speaking, this one actually looks good even now. The only problem is with the volume, but what is that, 167? That cannot be. A little bit of sideways move would be better, I would say.
KP, I had the same belief with Google, right? But for the last 9 months or so, it went up, right? And if you look at the FANG stocks, Microsoft and Google, right? Yep. These ones had explosive moves in the past year, and Apple was kind of a laggard among them. Obviously, Amazon was going nowhere.
Yeah.
Do you think like it's Apple's turn now?
I don't think in terms of that way at all. I mean, for me, if something is setting up, something is breaking out, you get in. That's it. As long as you know how much risk you are taking. I don't think I know. Anytime I watch CNBC, they always talk about that. But for them who are maintaining, a big fund, they have to have stocks like, Google, Amazon, and Apple. But for traders like us, it does not matter at all. I mean, we buy whatever works for us. So, I mean, talking about Google, the weekly chart looks amazing here. That's how many weeks of consolidation? Almost from here, what's that? 11.5, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 weeks of consolidation and a breakout above. Actually, for this one, this does not even have to break out. You could probably buy it here with a 2,800 stop. That's how much is that? 150. That's a 7%. That's about 5% stop. So that's a pretty good, risk reward. Or you could probably have a position here and buy the rest of the position about 30.19 or 30.20. I mean, I as I said, I used to have these positions and it was easy to hold. But after such a huge move, it's hard to expect, these to move a lot. I mean, the RS rating is pretty good. 91 is pretty good. Apple has above 95 right now. 93. That's pretty good. Amazon may not have a great RS rating. It's horrible. 56. I wouldn't even touch this. What else we have? Facebook. Actually, Facebook today, I was sharing the chart this morning. Facebook could be, I mean, this could be a good place to start a buy. So what happens is a lot of people will start covering their shorts. Whenever you see this kind of head and shoulders pattern, and when it fails, generally it moves. All of this move will happen on the other side. So that's a failed head and shoulders right now. So yeah, that takes you to all-time high. So I mean, this is very interesting right now. And you had this, it spent a lot of time here. Now it's actually resolving to the upside. So Facebook looks really, really good here. 320 is $20, right? So the 322 would be your stop. That would be your stop. So how much is that? $23. As long as it's below, 8%. Yeah, it's about 6.6%. So yeah, this is a pretty good deal. And even if it comes down and it takes out today's low, you have plenty of technical analysis right here, a lot of sideways move. So this could act as a very good support. That's how I see it most of the time. If this breaks 23.22, it means that something went wrong. Okay, so this is a very good risk reward. And so for a $23 down move, you could have about $35, $40 to the upside. That's pretty good risk reward. I know the thing is, it does feel like you could have been in these stocks and make money easily because everybody is talking about it. And there are a lot of long-term buy and holders who have been making good money in this one. But does that mean that it's going to do the same next year? It's hard to say. This could move sideways for a year, who knows? But again, any of these stocks, when they break out to new highs, are probably a buy. Okay, we have a couple more. VRSN, yeah, I saw this. I mean, this one looks really, really good. I had this alert go on a couple of days ago. Yeah, this one looks pretty good. How is the volume in this one? $600. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, it's a very big company. 28 billion is pretty big company. So not really a growth stock, but I mean, chart looks amazing. Yeah, this is what's concerning me in most of the charts. Look at that, 1, 2, 3, 4 days. It's diminishing volume. Is this because there are not a lot of players this week and last week? I am not sure. I'm not taking any big positions right now. That's why I'm playing with options, or most of my positions are options, unless it's a long term. It's in long term portfolio. I would like to see again, but I don't think we'll be able to see any big volume this week either. The next 4 days. SPC, yeah, I don't know what to do with this. I won't even get into this one at all. Relative strength is 5. It means 95% of the market is doing better than this one. So,
KP, what does IBD, right? Like they display market trend, right? What is it saying right now?
oh, I posted it over the weekend. I think it says it's in an uptrend.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Hey, the one of the reasons why they are saying that is because of this. The only reason I can see, it's not because of volume or anything at all, but it broke out. See, this is where it started tanking. Now it went all the way back, so that's 100% retracement of all the move down. So it has to be in an uptrend. Price wise, it is in an uptrend. This is the confusion right now for me too. But look at the Nasdaq volume composite. Still looks, I mean, the volume is really, really, really small. I mean, it's down 28% from your average move, average daily volume. So, and
but KP, if you look at the chart, right?
Yep.
Throughout, whenever the market has been going up, the
Yep.
volume is kind of at the same level. You're finding the peak volume only when the market was dropping. At least with SPY and Nasdaq, I was observing that.
Yeah, but
see, every time the market dropped,
yeah,
the volume peaked.
I know what you're saying. I mean, these numbers, I understand what you're talking about, but this in the last 1 week, that's been really, really small. I mean, generally when the move is bigger, I mean 1.4% in S&P, that's a big move for an index. So, but I know what you're talking about. All the down moves that's how it has been for the whole year. All the big
Right.
ones are, all the drops have bigger volume. This is what the institutional selling would look like. I mean, they are not buying, they are just selling it to the retailers. That's it. That's exactly what's happening. But for traders like us, that should not really matter that much. But for me to go, full on aggressive, I'm not convinced yet. And we know for a fact that last week and this week, there are not a lot of traders in the market.
And KP, one other observation why IBD marked it as an uptrend, right?
Yep.
If you look at that advance and decline ratio,
Yep.
I think it started picking up. The advance decline, the advances have started moving ever since the recent thing.
Let me.
So if you look at that view market indices list on that same list, whatever you're seeing, if you come down, there is a view market indices list, right? Yes. And I think the last two tickers on that list, the GMI, yeah, those two things, right? If you look, so you see the third graph is that advanced.
Yeah, it is so far. Yeah, it's just picking up. I mean, I saw this, but the other chart that I was talking about, let me open up that. Share. Yeah. So again, I go back to this one. This is still not what I want to see. So here the volume, when it went in the last 1, 2, 3, 4 days, the volume has been going down. This is Nasdaq Composite, which has about 2,500 stocks, and this is the number of stocks above their 200-day moving average. I mean, it picked up from whatever that is, 28 or 29. That's about 25 to 31, but still there are 70% of the stocks that are below their 200-day moving average, which is kind of concerning. I mean, I see one of the two. It's, I mean, my thesis hasn't changed since, we have been talking this whole way, is that either all the stocks should pick up and this AD line should move higher, or all the Nasdaq Composite has to go down. One of those two things should happen. I mean, this is in an uptrend, but look at the rest of it. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people already who have the long-term holdings know, other than those top 5% of the top 5% market cap stocks in S&P 500, which has, I think, about 25% of the all the, no, actually I think it's 40%. So 25 top stocks of S&P 500 has a weightage of 40% of all of S&P. So if you remove that, the rest of the stocks are not doing good. Again, I have not been in 2000 markets or 1987 market, 6 market, but that's what all the history says. That's how it has been in 2000, before there was a crash. I'm not saying that there's going to be crash. I don't see any any indications that market is going to crash, but this is not what I want to see. I mean, these volume when on an up days, higher would be better. And regarding the IBD, let's go back to IBD again. Regarding this IBD for S&P or any of the indices, this retracement, I mean, they do have multiple ways to figure out if it's in a confirmed uptrend or a downtrend. Whenever it's near the top, they have to confirm it as an uptrend. Okay, they don't have a choice. They cannot say that the indices are at new highs and we are still, the uptrend is under pressure, no matter how the individual stocks are looking. That's how their market status depends on. Now let's talk about the things that are looking good. Semis started. See, the one thing that we have not seen do good are any of the leaders. But today, actually they started last week. On semi looks good. A bunch of semiconductors look good. SMH, it's almost near the all-time highs. If these starts having follow-throughs, maybe there is a very good chance all the stocks will follow them. So this is what I'm looking for: a leader that I can follow, that I can get into, that will have a follow-through. That's why I added on and also what was the other one? I'm at, and even LRC, something has changed with see, Applied Materials and Lam Research, they are in a similar business. So if you look at the weekly chart, this is an amazing consolidation. So that's a consolidation for about 8 months. So this looks really good. We had a huge move from here to here. That's December, November to, that's about 5 months, and 58 to 140. Hold on. Is that correct? Yeah. Yep. So after such a huge move, it's consolidating. Now it's breaking out. So something has changed. One of the reasons it could not move higher, I mean, fundamentally, it could be because of, you know, raw material that it could not secure. But right now, these two stocks started looking better. So this gives me confidence to get into the semis. And I see some of the semis are breaking out. So if we get a follow through for these semis, I think, you know, that's a good. I mean, today I added so many. I'm not very happy to add so many semis, but those are the ones that are performing. Nothing else. So whatever is working, unless, I mean, I do have stops for all of them. If they get stopped out, that's fine. But I don't want to have an opinion saying that this may not be real. You know, when I see the prices are moving, I have to be part of it. So, and I did not add LRCX because I already have 4 of them. So it could be either Applied Materials or Lam Research. So I added Applied Materials. It's being you know, a little bigger than Lam Research. So that's what I'm looking for right now. I need a follow through with for the stocks that I have, then see more breakouts in other stocks, and I'll add more and more.
But Lam
you
Research
generally
30%, right?
Say that again.
The Lam Research, like you're seeing, right? Volume is down by 29%.
Yep, I know. I mean, that's a concerning fact. Not just this one. Every stock or that's because there's nobody there to. I mean, these last 2 weeks there are not a lot of people trading. So one caveat with that is that this could come back and test these lows. If it does not, that's a good thing, but it could come back, you know, and test this 650 lows. That's the problem with the low volume. But again, I don't want to speculate what's going to happen when everybody comes back to trading, you know, next week. Right now, these are behaving well. And this is same as Applied Materials. That's a lot of consolidation. That's same from April to December. So it's 8 months of consolidation is a huge consolidation. Okay, so that's one of the reasons I don't want to miss the moves. If you miss this move, if you lose, you'll probably lose 6 or 8% on these stocks. But if you miss this, it could be, you know, 20, 30, 40, 50% of moves. So the risk reward is so much better. And Applied Materials. Sorry, go ahead.
You generally avoid stocks with relatively less volume, right? Under $1 million. I was surprised to see that you took a trade today, but even you had it in your TML list. AOSL was part of your list. Yeah.
I know. I mean, this has been looking amazing. I mean, one reason is you have this cup and handle. I mean, we did not even have a handle, but we had a handle a little bit over here. It's been doing really, really well. I mean, for 1.6 billion, this is a very small stock. But again, this is one of the reasons I'm not adding it as a stock. If this was any other bigger stock with probably, you know, above 5 billion or 7 billion range, I would have had a full position in this one. The chart looks amazing. I mean, this does not show that we just had a big 3-day drop in S&P. It doesn't show that at all. Whatever the pullbacks we had, it's either 1 or 2 days and that's it. There is so much of buying pressure in the stock. And this could, I mean, it actually did hit my target today. It was, no, I did not. So I had this $62 target, but I mean, the way it's behaving, this could go much, much higher. I mean, while everything else, see, that's how we look at the relative performance, right? Relative strength. When everything else in the market is struggling, this thing is up 11%. And look at the volume. The volume today is up 70%. I don't see any stock that has 70% higher volume than usual on such a thin day. So I love this stock. I mean, the way it's behaving. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks of sideways move, and it's breaking out today. So I mean, again, I really don't know what they do, but it's in number one, the industry right now. It's 1 out of 197, and if you look at the market, Smith, I think I showed this a few days ago. I showed this a few days ago. All the top 250 stocks in Market Smith, they are all in the same industry. All of them, until what? 15 of them. And AOSL is part of them. So today I added this one, what else?
So KP, you did not added AOSL, right then?
No, I have my options.
Yeah, options are the only one. Right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because of it's such a small stock, I'm not confident enough to see the one problem with adding smaller companies is that it only takes 1 day to lose, or because hold on. So what I mean is 480,000, right? 480,000. You can calculate the amount of money that trades every day, and you just need one big seller to take all this back. It could go all the way down to, what is that, 46 in a single day, because you just need one big seller. That's one of the reasons I'm a little reluctant to buy stocks in this kind of see, I mean, I am not a very, very aggressive investor or trader. I have to make, that's one of the reasons, with like 20% move in the options, I cut my, I got some profits out, but I know for a fact when I look at the chart, this could go much, much higher. It has to be at least 7 billion for me to add to my long-term, or, it should be a mid cap. I have seen stocks crumble in a single day for some reason. I mean, it could be any reason. I mean, it could be one SEC news. This could go down 20-25% in a day. That cannot happen in stocks like NVIDIA or any of the bigger companies, because there is a lot of big buyers who are ready to absorb that kind of selling. Do I make it? Was that any clear?
Yeah, No, I think that makes sense what you're saying, KP. Thank you.
So
Yeah, it's a Chinese company actually.
it says Bermuda. Oh, okay. Could be. Well, I mean, if it's a Chinese company, it should not do this good. I mean, everything else and every other Chinese stock looks horrible right now.
Yeah, so they are kind of hiding that fact, but you know, yeah, if you go to their website, they don't even have a like secure website.
They have a headquarters in United States.
Yeah,
In
they
Europe,
put something. Yeah,
Asia, they have it in South Korea, Taiwan. Well, it doesn't matter. You know, let's any other questions?
said it is working. I mean, it will work, but one big seller comes, then it can wipe out, right? So
Yep. That's common for many of the small cap stocks. You know,
Right.
So
Like, you know,
KP, during the beginning of each year, right, the portfolio managers, they tend to shuffle or rebalance their portfolios, right? Have you ever, I mean, have you observed any such things which disrupts the ranking of the market leaders?
and I don't
sectors?
think so. Not really. There are a bunch of funds in this one. 270 funds. That's pretty big. That's a lot of funds. But you know, this what IBD tracks, I don't see anybody. I mean, obviously there's no fidelity in it. All right. Oh, we have one more question. Asana Roblox. Okay. Asana ENPH. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Asana, it's going to take the one thing that I have understood for a fact. I mean, which happens all the time is when a stock goes down this much, it's going to take a while for it to turn around. You have so much supply above you. Every time it goes up, people are going to sell. You know, so Asana is going to take a while for it to move higher. Roblox actually it still looks good. As long as it stays above that 94, 95 level, I think this has there is not a lot of volume, probably, what is that, 11? That's about a month of supply right here. So this still looks good. You still have this base, you know, NPH. I forgot about this stock. This was a very good winner for me this year. Yeah, doesn't look great yet, at least. How is TAN? Yeah, that's because of how most of the other alternative energy companies are. TAN is down big too. So the CDG, that's probably looking the same. Yep. Obviously, ENPH is the leader in that one. Did I miss anything else?
So KP, what do
Can you
downtrend?
repeat? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Can you repeat that?
No, I'm saying I have seen you posting a few times that like said today you said the Tesla is breaking the downtrend line. So what do you mean by that?
Well, it did for a minute, then it came back. So, so there are different places where you could actually buy a stock, and one of the reasons I traded last week is this is not I wouldn't trade any other stock the way I traded Tesla last week. We know for a fact that most of this selling happened because of Elon Musk, right? So, and I did not expect this kind of move either. Anyway, so when the first time you could buy a stock is when it breaks the downtrend. Okay, you add it when it breaks the downtrend. Then you add, let's say if you're adding, 1/3 at a time, you could add once here when it breaks the downtrend. Okay, even if it fails the next day or the next few days, you will get out with a very small loss because it's only 1/3 position. You add it here, then you can add at 1174, above 1174. That would be above 1174. We probably have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days of supply, which is not much. So we will see a lot of, swing traders buy above 1175, 1174. And we'll see a bunch of people, who wait until 1243. We'll see more people. Anybody who wants to be long, they will be long after 1243. Okay, that's the last resistance. So, but again, these downtrends, they give you a good place to add with least amount of risk. That's what happened today with NVIDIA. It broke the downtrend. That's why I added. I mean, technically, if I want to be safe, above 324 is the best place to add. So I added some here. If it breaks at 324, I'll add more. I added half position today. Again, there are a bunch of things that I think about.
KP hit the,
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. When you say that if it hits the downtrend line,
Yep.
does that mean that it hit that downtrend line and just went up and now it is bullish, or like how, with your wordings, how to identify, is it a bearish sign or bullish sign is the question.
If it's breaking the downtrend, that's bullish.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
And hitting the downtrend means is it bearish?
Does it? I mean, okay. What's happening when it's hitting the downtrend is what we are supposed to figure out, right? I mean, if it hits the downtrend and rejects back and moves lower, yeah, it means that's bearish, right? So, I mean, this happened to us right here. So that's your first touch. That's your second touch. That's the third touch and it failed. Now for the fourth touch, generally the third touch it's very common to fail at the third touch. Okay. But now it did spend some time and now it's moving higher. So that's bullish. But if it cannot break this and starts moving lower, it's in a downtrend.
Oh, okay. So it switches very quickly. Is that what you mean to say?
Say that again.
No, it means it can switch very quickly from downtrend to uptrend, like it depends, right?
Well, I mean, it did spend a bunch of time trying to move higher. So this is an important level. So, I mean, you'll probably know that in a day or two, whether it's gonna move higher or lower. And as soon as this breaks and moves higher, you will get a lot of buyers who have been waiting for this kind of setup. And we will see institutional or hedge funds or whoever, they'll probably start getting into this one above 324. So for retail investors, they cannot sell as fast as we can. The hedge funds cannot. They take a few days, sometimes a week for them to sell their whole position. That's why they actually wait for the confirmation. So for us, if this doesn't work, whatever number of shares we can sell right away. Okay, if this does not work. So this gives us a very low risk point for us to start our position. I mean, this could go all the way to 324. You add it and it starts to crumble down. That's a scenario, right? So if it let's say if it goes there in the next 3 or 4 days, it goes to 325 and you add more and your your average price would be around 315 or so, I think. So if it breaks and comes back, you can get out, for a loss of $4 or whatever for the entire position. This is basically reducing your risk for the position. That's it. But the confirmation you will get is above 324 is when you will get the confirmation. Until then, you don't get a confirmation, especially in the price levels wise.
Oh, okay. So, KP, for your long-term portfolio, are you keeping some time frame in the mind or the targets in the mind? Like, what is your?
As long as it works, as long as it works, you know, no time. I used to do
okay.
that. I used to do the time frame for a while, not anymore. I mean, as long as it works, it's something. See, for example, we added this one, right? So we had a huge consolidation in this range. While the market was weak, this moved sideways. That shows that it has relative strength. Now it's broken out. It's moving higher. Let's say for some reason it starts to break this 59.78 or this level. It means something has changed. Okay, while and then again we are assuming that the market is not going to have a is not going down. If the market goes down, this will go down and I'll get out. There's no question about that. If the market goes up and this one starts to move lower, and if it breaks this 59.78, I don't want to be in it. So these are, but higher probability if the market starts to move higher. This could move another 30-40%. That's how most of the leaders act. And my assumption is this is a leader right now. onsemi is a leader. Applied Materials is a leader. And the other fact about Applied Materials is that we had this downtrend. It broke out here. How many times did it close below that? Well, actually it did not. It did not close even once below this level. That tells me that this is a very good support. So again, there are a bunch of things that we learn over a period of time. I mean, when I say over a period of time, probably 5-7 years, they all add up. When you look at these things, I mean, this looks same as, look at TTD. When you see these similar kinds of moves, you will start to see a pattern, how the market reacts for certain setup. So you have this downtrend line, one touch, second touch. So it broke out here, okay? Broke out, went really high. I mean, this is definitely extended. What is that move? 68 to 114. That's a big move. So it came back and tested this downtrend and moved higher. Again, it tested. While the market was weak, this is what's happening. Okay, it means that this is the only reason I have TTD in the TML list, because it's been testing this one and bouncing. So as long as this test or this support is there, you can hold this.
So you are not very optimistic on TTD. Is that one reason why you're not adding it?
No, I am right now, but I don't want to add a lot right now. I'm not optimistic on the market.
Yeah,
okay. If I was optimistic on the market, I would have added all those stocks in TML. The 13 stocks, probably not the 13, probably 10 or 11.
Okay.
They are all doing, I mean, after I started that list, it went down almost 7%, the whole list. Now it's positive, it's up over 3%. So this happened in a span of what? 11 days with so many holidays in between. So
Okay, KP, coming back to the market, what do you like to see ES is in uptrend?
well, ES is in an uptrend. That is the problem for me right now. So I want to see the leaders. As I said, the semis are doing good now. There should be a follow through for the semis, and I want to see. And then AMD looks good after breaking out today. Actually, it broke out and closed below this level, but today is pretty good for AMD. And NVIDIA, as I said, it's above the it's moving above the downtrend. And what else?
QQQ was struggling to break 400. I think it broke today, right?
Which one?
QQQ, triple QQ.
Yeah, it broke 400. Yeah, I mean, this is in an uptrend right now. This is definitely in an uptrend. We did not have a look at this one. It was never in a downtrend. I mean, after this move, we had a lower low here. We undercut it basically 378, and I mean, it did not even close before this, below this level. This did not actually become a downtrend at all. Even QQQ and ES, it did not. But the overall market, I mean, the individual stocks, they were not doing good. So what are you going to add? That was my dilemma. But right now I see some of the stocks are breaking out. Let's see how it goes.
So where do you see QQQ? Like it consolidated, right? You have the target. If you add the target, where do we see?
Let's see. These may not be accurate numbers. Where is this? Okay, 350.32. Is that what it does? Okay. So yeah, it could go all the way to 451. 432 is your first target, next 451. I have one more question here. Apps. Did apps buy another new company or something? I think something happened. They bought a company or something. That's why. See, anytime we see a new information about a company, like buying new companies, or change of CEO or CFO or whoever, those are major changes in a company. So I think they bought. I think right here they bought a company, and market did not like it. I don't know what happened. I mean, I think their earnings were pretty good. But, well, in general, the stock is still working on its sideways, or the base that it's going to form, and it has to break above that 93 level for me to be interested, or probably this 81 level. We'll see how it goes, but there's a lot of supply right now. Not a favorite stock. But again, this happens every time you have this kind of move. It went from $3 to $102 in a matter of a year. That's 33x, 30x. So this happened with Tesla. This happened with many stocks. Okay, when you have this kind of humongous move, sideways move is very common. And this could move 2 years or 3 years sideways. Nobody knows. So this is one of the reasons why I look for a breakout, because I want all the supply to dry off, and after the supply dries off, there is not a lot of sellers anymore. It's hard to say what's the best place to buy, because it is so far away from 52-week high. So, all right. Any other questions?
KP, I have a question regarding position sizing in your long-term portfolio.
Yep.
Based on what you had previously described, like you tend to allocate up to 20 tickers in your long-term portfolio, right?
Yep.
Which translates to 5% per stock.
That's right? What I'm doing now. Yes.
So that is okay. I'm just following the same. I just wanted to confirm it is 5%, and if it is half a position, it's 2.5%.
That's correct. That's correct. Yep, that's correct. Right now, I have. Let's check it out. So I have 5% in Tesla, 5% in 5% in PLNT, 2.5% in NVIDIA, and 5% in AMD and PNW, and also 5% in Applied Materials. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5% positions, and 1, 2.5% position, which is NVIDIA.
Got it.
I
And
never.
you also have on, right?
Yes, on is also 5%. Yep.
Okay.
This one, I never thought I would add this one, but this one looks really, really good, and I want to see how it goes. And I don't see many other setup in I don't see many setups in technology. That's why I added this one. We'll see how it does, but so far so good.
I was surprised that you entered this position.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
That isn't even a top sector, right? Or top industry.
it's not, but after such a huge consolidation, it broke out, it came back, and really, I mean, it went higher really fast. It took just 1 week to move higher. And this could be another, big play for, the reopening. And one of the main reasons is because I couldn't find anything to add. All right, especially technology. MCD, it's the same thing, I have a hard time adding stocks like this because they move really slow. That's the only reason. But this one still looks great. The only one that I like among staples is Costco because it can move a lot. But I generally don't have the patience for move for McDonald's. That's only based on the experience. If I don't find anything at all, I'll probably go short the market. I'll find something that's moving lower. So,
where do you see closing, KP?
where do I see what?
Like,
I'm sorry?
like possible like highs for this in March time frame.
Oh, I have no clue. How can anybody say what time frame? But
No,
yeah.
no,
So
that box, right?
this box.
Yeah, something similar.
Well, I mean, this is a nice consolidation, but this doesn't mean anything right here. But 279, 280 is probably the next target.
Okay.
Yeah.
KP, can you share your thoughts on EDR? Endeavor Group, EDR. It's a recent IPO.
Oh, no clue. Give me a second.
I thought it's a big up.
Oh, 23 billion. Wow. This actually looks pretty good.
Breaking its IPO base.
Yeah, this looks really good. Operate sports properties through live and they go, okay, opening stock, reopening stock. Yeah, this one actually looks pretty good. If I would add this, I would probably have not more than half position because of this, high volatility. I would think this 32.20 is probably a good place to add. Well, I mean, I guess, $1 doesn't mean a lot for these IPOs. It's about 3%, right? But generally, I guess you need to have much bigger, you cannot go with 8% stop loss for stocks like this. I would probably start with half a position and have, 10 or 12% in as stop loss. Let's see how much it is right now. What is that? 30. Actually, 10%. This is not bad. Even if you add here, this could be your stop loss. Or you could have the half loss at 31.65 and the other half below 29.12. That would make more sense. You could have stop loss half here and half here. Because this could come all the way here. It wouldn't take long for that. Let's look at that. That's Big bounce. Wow, actually, how did I miss this? Oh, it has a relative strength of 90. That's why it didn't come up for me.
I also wanted to ask you, right? I know you give a lot of importance for this RS rating,
Yep.
but sometimes, right, if you look at the technicals, the last 3 months or 6 months RS rating are
Yeah.
much higher for some of these
Actually,
stocks,
that's what
which
no,
would not show up.
that's what I look at. Actually, I don't look at the regular RS. Let me show you.
Ah, I see. Okay.
So this is 3 months. I look
Okay,
at 3
okay.
months.
Got it.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, yeah, whatever you said is accurate. I mean, this RS may not actually show what's the short, how much relative strength it has in the short term. Yes. But this is what my this is how I
Criteria.
look at the criteria. Yeah. Anything else, guys? Well, I mean, for me right now, I'm gonna do smaller trades until the new year. That's not something you want to hear, but that's what I want to do right now. I don't want to. I mean, I had a decent year. I don't want to screw it up.
If you want to share any tax saving tips for us?
This is too late. Tax saying you should start at least in October or November. Okay, so well, this is what I generally do. I don't know if maybe I did not talk to you guys about tax saving, but I have so many realized losses and unrealized profits, plenty of them. So let me show you a couple of them. This is one of them. So this one I started at the start of the year. So what I first did is
You're not sharing, KP.
Oh, sorry. So maybe I think we should sit down and talk about this separately. But I'll give you an overview of what this is. So you could just buy the 298 300 vertical. Right now, this will probably cost $2 right away. Okay, you buy this, it costs $2, and when Tesla, let's say Tesla goes up 100 points, okay, this will go up 100 points, this will go down 100 points. The trade is not to make money. The trade is only for taxes. Okay, so when you do that, when you lose $100 on this one, what you do is you actually move this one up. So what that means is you buy 300, you sell 302. So if you have, let's say, one option for $100, is that 10,000? Yeah, it's 10,000. Yeah, that's $10,000. So for one contract, when you roll this 300 to 302, you will have a realized loss of $10,000, and you will end up with 298 302 ratios. Sorry, the vertical. Is that clear so far?
Yes.
I can repeat.
Yes, that's clear.
Okay.
So you like buy 298 and sell 300 KP?
First,
initially?
yeah, that's the first trade. Buy 298, sell 300. Then
Okay.
buy 393. If it goes up, if it go whatever, only one of the legs will be profitable, and one of the legs will have a loss. Whatever the loss is, let's say if you buy this and Tesla goes down 100 points, okay, you will have a loss here, $100 of loss, and here you will have $100 profit. So then you move this
Mhm.
298 to 296, okay?
Okay.
And you will end up with 296, 300. Again, no, this is not what we are not trying to make any profit or loss here, because you're going to pay the full amount. But what you will end up with is a realized loss and unrealized profit. And the best part about this is at the end of the year, which would be probably last week, what you could actually you could do even today, I guess. 3 plus, actually you can do it tomorrow too. Anyway, so what I mean by tomorrow or today is you have to finish if you want to do the tax loss harvesting, it should be done 3 days ahead of the close of the year. It takes 3 days to T plus 2 days, right? It takes 3 days to settle. So this way, again, going back to this, you will have an unrealized losses and unrealized profits. And when it expires, it expires with nothing. So right now, this is one of the trades I have. And, this has a realized loss of, I don't know, some 300,000 or 400,000 right now. I did this because I took a lot of profits in my crypto early in the year, in March or so, and I didn't want to pay any taxes, which I don't. So at least this year I'm not paying any taxes.
But you will pay next year.
Yes. So that's another thing. So this will expire in 22, right? This expires in, so I started this in 21, early 21. And because I have it when it expires, it's going to be more than a year since I started this trade. So it's going to be a long-term taxes. That's what I'm going to pay. I can either do that or, repeat this again and not pay any tax again next year.
Can this not be done on December 31st expiry?
No, it has to be T plus 2 days. You have to do 3 days earlier.
Oh, okay.
Yep. You keep rolling. Well, I mean, you could keep rolling and not pay any taxes ever. See, this is, I mean, hedge funds don't do this, but what hedge funds do is they actually sell deep in the money calls. What they do is, if you have, let's say, Tesla, they'll probably sell 900 calls, or where there is not a lot of. Let's see. So we do have intrinsic and extrinsic, right? So I mean, even though it says it has an extrinsic value of $1.80, but when you execute it, you don't have any extrinsic value at all. Okay, so generally the intrinsic value plus the strike price would give you the current price. So in 2017, when I did really well in my cryptos, I paid a lot of taxes, and I spent a lot of time figuring out how not to do that. And those were short-term taxes. And this is something I came up with. I mean, it should work pretty well. What else? Any other questions, guys?
When you did, what was the Tesla price, KP?
I have no clue, but it shouldn't matter at all, right? I mean, the only thing we care about is how much we are paying for this spread.
But Tesla moves, right? So when it goes, like,
That's what
once you realize.
You want a stock that actually moves.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you buy this and it does not move, you cannot roll at all. Okay. Actually, there is one concern saying that what if Tesla goes all the way down to 300? Okay. If it's coming down a lot, you could do right now, this is my position, right? You could probably do 298 to 304, that's $6. I could do 304 and 310. So you sell 304 and you buy 310. Then it would be a butterfly. Okay, you won't use a pen, you won't lose anything at all. Or you could buy 304 put and sell 298. And that would be the same thing. That would be a box. But I mean, butterfly makes, it's easier to understand. So when I first bought this, the price of Tesla was $340. This one was $340.
Oh, then you are sitting on a huge profit.
Again, I'm not. Because it's a spread.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, this is not to make profits at all. You are paying full price for the spread. You're not getting any discount at all.
No, but when you bought at 340, right? When
Yep.
price was 340, you did 300 spread,
Yep.
300, 302. But
Yep.
that 302 probably would have like a realized loss at, I don't know, depending on what price.
Oh, you're talking about the realized.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, right now I had 10 trades on this one, and I think my unrealized realized loss is around 400K right now. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. For one contract, it's about 40K right now.
Okay, unrealized profit also should be same, right?
It is.
So just to get.
It is.
Okay.
It is. You won't lose a penny. You won't make a penny out of this strategy. The idea is only to roll your profits. That's it. And let's say if you haven't made any money, I mean, you have to do this early in the year, and you haven't made any money that year, just close the position and you're good.
Okay.
Well, I thought if you guys need, I could take another class, another webinar this week, but if only if you guys have any questions. Frankly, I mean, there's not a lot to discuss right now.
I have more charting questions, KP. I know we never did the charting.
And post here. See, anything that's related to charting, I have to prepare a little bit. So post those questions in the. We could probably from next year we could probably have one session of every alternate weeks. We can do one technical webinar where we'll go through any one aspect that you guys have a problem with, and then every time, I mean, when we talk about when I hear certain questions, I know this is one thing I can discuss now. Somebody was saying that whenever they buy a butterfly, they don't make any money. The butterflies. So I mean, these are the things when somebody poses. I can't always remember all of these, but when you do a short-term butterfly, that's when you make the money. If it's a long-term, a week or two away, you'll probably make money right away because everything is moving. But if your butterfly is a month away, it's hard to make money. So I mean, these are the things. If you post it over there, we can go through, butterflies or which one I would buy, and so on and so forth. Post it in the webinar channel, and I can do one. Actually, I can do that. I mean, if you have any questions, I can do one technical webinar this week. I mean, we missed one last week, so I can make that up with a technical webinar this week, probably Wednesday or Thursday. Let me guys know.
Okay. Can you share your the chart settings, KP?
Which one are you talking about? This one, I think this one is free. I can send you the link, but this one I think I paid for it.
Okay. Yeah, so just send me. If I have to pay, I'll pay. But
Yeah,
I like all,
I can
because
yes.
yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yep. All right, guys, let me stop recording.